It feels so much easier to tell ourselves that we've just been unlucky with love. But the reality is, you and your mindset have a much bigger role to play in how things have been turning out for you than you think. In this video, I'll show you the 5 hard truths you need to accept if you want to get into the relationship of your dreams. The first is that you will never get closure from your ex. This can be for many reasons. Either they don't have capacity to articulate their thoughts on your relationship, or they don't have capacity to sit with difficult emotions. So instead, they share a version of the story that will feel more comfortable for them. Or they avoid talking to you altogether because they just don't have capacity to face you and to talk about the ending of your relationship. What seems complex is actually quite simple, and you don't need to waste your mental energy to figure it out. All that is important for you to know from their perspective is that the relationship wasn't working for them. The fact that they saw or felt something that you didn't and chose to end it is a blessing in disguise, because it means you no longer have to invest time in something that wasn't going to grow. What's more valuable than looking for closure from them is the closure that you can give to yourself. How do you want to write the end of this chapter? Ask yourself questions like, what could I have done differently? What were some of the red flags I might have missed? How do I want to show up differently in my next relationship? The second truth is that if you were in an unhealthy relationship, you were part of the problem. The first step in making major changes towards attracting more healthy love is self-awareness. I say it with all the love when I say that if you were in an unhealthy relationship, you were on some level a yes for it. First, you were attracted to someone who showed you red flags in the early stages, whether it was a very intense love that accelerated quickly from day one, or something as simple as mistreating waitstaff on a first date. Of course, sometimes people can be deceptive, or we may miss red flags, especially for empaths who want to see the best in everyone. But even when they showed you over and over who they were, you still chose to stay. As humans, we avoid cognitive dissonance. We want our outer world to line up with our inner world, which means that if we are allowing ourselves to be treated poorly, it lines up with how we treat ourselves. Imagine if you reframed so that you started to treat yourself so well. You listened intently to what you had to say and honored all of the promises you made to yourself, big and small. If you came across someone who didn't treat you consistently with the way you treat yourself, you probably wouldn't find them very attractive. The third truth is that no one else's job is to look after you, even your partner. You can't expect someone else to give you what you need. No one is a mind reader. Learn what your boundaries are and practice asserting them. As a chronic people pleaser or someone with anxious attachment who is used to anticipating others' needs and never expressing your own, it will feel uncomfortable to have to communicate your needs. But you won't be able to get into a relationship with a healthy, secure person until you've learned how to do this. A healthy, high-functioning, secure person has no desire to try and read your mind. They will communicate their needs clearly with you, and they will expect you to do the same. The fourth truth is that you won't attract the partner of your dreams until you become the partner of your dreams. If you want someone who is smart, ambitious, kind, has lots of friends, has a ton of hobbies, you will not attract this kind of person moping on the couch with no goals in sight. Whenever I work with clients to get clarity on the kind of partner they're looking for every quality they list, I will always ask, do you embody these qualities yourself? Before you can attract an epic life partner, make sure you've cleaned up your side of the street. The fifth truth is that being in a great relationship when all you've known are unhealthy patterns is going to feel uncomfortable. The healthiest relationships are going to make you want to run for the hills. When all you've known are people who can barely remember your birthday, and suddenly you meet someone who wants to know all about you and your passions and dreams, like you're the most interesting person in the world, it's going to feel uncomfortable. Because it is so unfamiliar to you. It's going to feel uncomfortable getting consistent, reliable, non-sparky attention when you're used to your hit of attention for a few days, and then the next couple of days, they're suddenly focused on work. In fact, it's going to feel so boring with this same level of consistent interest each day that you're very likely going to question if this is the right fit and if there is sufficient attraction. As humans, we are wired for the familiar. When we introduce something into our lives that is unfamiliar, it's uncomfortable. If you want an amazing relationship, you will have to resist the urge to run from it and instead just sit in the discomfort until your body has familiarized itself with it. I promise there are incredible things waiting for you on the other side. These are the 5 hard truths you need to accept to get into the relationship of your dreams. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this. And if you're looking for help leveling up in your love life, I'd love to work with you one-on-one. Just click the link in the description below to book a consultation.